Hey, Doers are also 27 back here, and I have Shangri-La Easter eggs that some of you may or may not have noticed. I'm going to put it in really slow mode just so I have plenty of time to talk about this. And what it is in this room here, which you're probably familiar with if you've played the map at all, there are tons and tons of glowing rocks, and these rocks are very similar to the Element 115 rocks. And guess what? They are the Element 115 rocks, pardon me, and I believe that the Focus Stone itself is just like the media that crashed in Shinonuma. They are Element 115. The Element 115, if you're not familiar with the zombie backstory, this causes the zombies, alright? This is what Group 935 and Dr. Maxis and Rick Toffin were using to make soldiers into undead soldiers and to make them into zombies. Now, Samantha helps out with this, really controlling the undead hordes for unlimited rounds, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. There is so many rocks in this facility, it really makes me wonder. I mean, I honestly think Shangri-La had to have been a mining facility for 115. And you're like, thank you, Captain Obvious. Well, now, you might also think, well, what the hell is it doing in the middle? I think it was rumored Tibet or something like that. If I said it wrong, whatever. But, I mean, look at these massive, massive chunks of 115. And, you know, it's what was an ancient temple doing with 115? I mean, seriously. I mean, who goes in the middle of Tibet in the Orgotha? You know, they're looking for Orgotha. I'm not sure if this actually was Orgotha, as Brock put it, but... And not Pokemon, no. Brock from Zombies and the magical Easter egg. What was it doing? And I'm going to explain it here in the next clip. And our next clip here is the chest that has our Focus Stone on top of it, and it's labeled Rick Toffin. So this leads me to believe that Rick Toffin was obviously here beforehand. This is not his first time in Shangri-La, and this was yet again another facility. You know, the little Easter egg right there also of the crystal skull to the left, if you can see that, from Indiana Jones, and then there's the monkey skull. Now, or at least differently shaped alien-type skull, and that really makes me wonder. Maybe the silverback may make an appearance from the Dead Ops arcade. Now, look, there is the Rick Toffin inscribed on that ancient Aztec-type, you know, chest. So that makes me, you know, almost 100% sure this place was another facility that Group 935 was behind, creating zombies, and this is where a massive supply came from. I mean, look at Shinonuma. They had a massive rock, so multiple rocks must have fell, or were created, or came from outer space, or whatever, and they seem to know where all these are, and that's really allowing them to create the zombies and do what they want. Now, I want you to listen to this Easter egg before I break it down.
Please keep your hands and legs inside the ride at all times.
Now, if you didn't catch it, that is the song you hear when Samantha is around. It's the nursery rhyme. Many think it is Ring Around the Rosie, but... Talixian has proved that wrong, but then again, I'm not so sure if that's exactly it, because Rick Toffin made a reference in Shangri-La saying, oh, that sounds like the nursery rhyme. Now, you can find this in Kino, originally in Shinonuma in the fishing hut, then by Juggernaut in Darice, Kino del Toten in Samantha's room, and now again here in Shangri-La. I don't imagine or remembering it in Ascension or Call of the Dead, so this is our first real return of her nursery rhyme. Now, that makes me believe that, again, Samantha had a huge or even stronger grip on this map than they did on Ascension and Call of the Dead for the amount of undead zombies in the Horde. Now, we have to break down the next Easter egg. So, of course, I couldn't get through this without the loading screen. There is a lot to look at this loading screen. The eclipse signifying that day that Brock and Gary found the stone and caused our whole problem to happen, which makes me wonder if Rick Toffin maybe set this up as maybe a trap or a failsafe to make sure no one could take his stone or something like that. And at the end of the Easter egg, you hear them, it repeats that, you know, they keep going in a circle until you do it 4 times. So does this, again, this controls time. The Focus Stone controls time in the space-time continuum or whatever, as well as the Golden Rod has similar abilities. I had a subscriber actually send me links and stuff to it, and this rod was really something. So what the golden rod is it was part of a group called Vril, and Vril, you would think, oh, is that the VR11? Well, actually, this was a group created beforehand. It was a special group that Richtofen apparently was part of, or at least knew about. Now, they were focusing, apparently, historically speaking, they were a group of female scientists that got together and apparently were contacted by aliens, and, whoa, we're getting to space now, but they were trying to create, space or time travel, or trying to, get to the moon, get to the rocket, to get out of there. So that connects these two items. We have what can control time, and then the rod, which could possibly control flight to, come to another universe, or, the sky's the limit when you start combining these items that Richtofen has at his hands. Now, I want to thank, I think it's the CODS forums for that one. A link a subscriber gave me, so I'm not 100% sure. I read it a long time ago, but that was my little idea on that. But using these two items, Richtofen is obviously trying to create some huge event that will allow him to take control of whatever he pleases, whatever he wants. He's going around through time into the future, gathering these items that were obviously lost in the past that he could not acquire. That's why he went to Call of the Dead. That's, pardon me, why he went to Shangri. So we know at least some of the story now, in which order it is going. And as we see here, the book itself, let's really start breaking down the book here. We can see Ascension in the top left-hand corner, and Treyarch is all but telling us now this is a storybook, and maybe this is Sam's storybook. I mean, maybe she is controlling everything, and we are just a little story, a figment of her imagination. If you listen to the lyrics of the songs, it talked about all the stuff that goes on in her head. It's always something mental. The new song, I think it's Paradorium. That is a, stimulus that happens in your brain that causes you to think you see something. Like when you see something in the clouds, that's a paradorium. So when she thinks she's seeing these events transpire, that's a paradorium. And that was the whole song. I mean, it keeps going back and back and back through all this. Is this just a story? I mean, I don't know. I think it just might be. They might end up pulling the Super Mario 2 where he just wakes up. Mario, it was all a dumb dream, and you're like, that game was pointless. Well, I think we might be in store for another one of that. Unless, maybe there is something else to it. Maybe this book is something special. Maybe it tells the future. Maybe Samantha isn't controlling this. Who knows? That's why we're up for debate. That's why we're all zombie-holics here. You can see Call of the Dead's tears in the corner. You can see the leaf that obviously showed us the future maps. Now, people are saying, this is the end of the book, this is the end of the book, it's got to be the last game. Wrong! Clearly, on the right side, there are more pages. It looks at least to be one more page, and then there could always be the back cover. Now, you see the crease. You always have that crease, no matter which one we were looking at. And on the side, we see the Group 935 logo, and that little sheet sticking out. So maybe this is the book Richtofen had in Shino Numa that you were laughing about. The book he needed. The book Yuri talked about. This could be the book that controls everything that we've been talking about. That side sheet look there almost looks like an ad for all the stuff that's gone on. Almost, maybe it's an arcade type ad, like it knows, maybe this is all just a game. And, you're looking at me saying, no shit, it's a game. No, but I'm saying in the storyline itself, they're really trying to screw us up here saying it's a game, it's inside a game, it's inside a game. And now you're like, oh my goodness, calm down there. If you go to Danny Trejo's quote in Call of the Dead, he says that same thing. It's a movie inside of a game, inside a movie, inside a game. Oh my gosh, I can't follow this. Something to that degree. But that's what it is, and that's what it's coming down to. Now look down in the bottom left-hand corner that you only get on certain screens. Only 25 cents. You only get this one in multiplayer, I'm pretty sure. Not solo. Solo, you just get the book itself. Only 25 cents in the bottom right corner. Only 25 cents. What could that mean? I'm leaving that open for you because I don't know. Is that another book? Is that another magazine? Is that something else? Does that add to the story? It could be endless means. So I really don't know where this could lead to. I mean, you guys tell me, because there is so much analyzation that can occur here. Now back to this again. Why is there a tornado? Lightning coming out. Time like shape-shifting, the Aztec temple being ripped into a little sandpit almost trap, and it's almost the alien hedge going on in there, as well as those floating rocks there with almost like eyes looking, they're glowing on there. And you know, I don't know how this connects. It really blows my mind. I mean, it looks like there's a little baggie there maybe. I'm not sure what that little device is. If you look actually way up front by the skull onto the steps that will look like lead you to the temple. So I'm not sure. This is really the toughest page in the book to crack, because I'm not sure. I mean, you look up there, it looks like at the sky in the top left, it's almost like it's creasing, or colors fading or ripping, or incoming storm probably caused from the tornado. I mean, there's so much in this map to analyze and to think about. It's ridiculous. As well as the skulls I'll cover in the next one. And where are the seashells that we were promised? Well, we'll find out. Thanks for watching this first Easter egg video of Shangri-La. I'll talk to you later.